So I want to talk about the stylus. Sometimes the electrode, if you use it a lot, it gets sooty or gunky. So a few things that I've discovered is with these electrodes, it makes a huge difference, the shape, whether or not it's dull or sharp. When it's brand new and very sharp, it shoots out far more power than when that's dull. So what you do is open it like this. I use a sanding disc with my Dremel so that I could polish it. So over time, you might want to sharpen it. And here's one where it is dulled with use. I can sharpen it, or sometimes I can intentionally make it dull. And I'll explain that a little later. I'm going to show you how easy it is to change electrodes in the stylus. Oftentimes you want to change because it gets worn down, or you have a collection of different thicknesses and sharpness. And that's how you put it in, and you measure on the side of the top has somewhere for you to measure, and then holding it still, you twist it tight and then measure again. And I think we're good there. And you're ready to go. Okay, so that's that. What I'm going to do is also show you some of the things that you can do to make it dull and when you want to use that. Okay, actually in this case, I am going to make it a little bit more dull so that it doesn't come as in a fine point. And I'll show you what happens when you fire with that. So I'm just going to clean off the soot. So now you see the difference. This one is rounded and this one's to a point. And I'm going to compare what happens when you weld with something that's dulled versus a point. Okay, so I'm going to do an experiment. These jump rings are 22 gauge, and I'm going to try to, normally I would do 5 watts, but let's do 7.5 watts. Brand new electrode. Here we go. I'm just going to, let's do this. Let's see, make sure you can see. Okay, so it's fine and it did not explode, even though it warped it a little bit. All I really needed was 5 watts, but we will see what happens. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. 22 gauge sterling silver jump ring, 7.5 watts, dulled electrode. Let's see. Okay, now significantly less fire, and there was a bit of fire scale, and I don't know whether or not it took. Mind you, it could be, yes, it didn't. Could be that my hands moved because I'm trying to close my eyes as we do this. Okay, I'm gonna try it again. Okay, I think that took, and that worked. So in an older electrode, it was trickier to weld with low power. So next I'm going to show you with a brand new stylus that's needle sharp and at 5 watts. It takes very easily. So the shape of the electrode is very important, keeping it clean, and if it's too much power, just simply use something that is slightly duller. Or if you find that your electrode is a bit dull and you're having to use a lot more power, simply sharpen a little. I hope that you found that useful. I wholesale chains and jump rings of silver, gold filled, and I'm going to put some information below as well as information on the micro welder.